Well, the rains have returned. We got Sunday and Monday break in the rain, but again, most of the real heavy stuff will be south of us in Oklahoma and Texas. But we've had a pretty wet spring. Everybody says El Nino's coming, and that makes California looking forward to a real wet winter. I sure hope they get it. Although it will bring flooding and mudslides and the rest of it. I'm sure California will be willing to absorb a little of that to get the extra moisture. I thought the market, we'd have trouble in the 31 to 32 area if we couldn't get through it. It was a sell. Back to the 25 area, we've gone a little deeper. Right now, volume is at 26, so a close in this 25 area, if we don't take out this low right here, looks like a reasonable bet right now. But again, when you come in and you take a look at structure, we had these lows right here before the news hit. And you can see how they got stops above that, but they weren't able to go in. And right here we've got 4 bars. This bar, each bar gets thinner than the one before that. We've got deceleration above that. And the width of this bar actually comes from selling. It does not come from new buying. So we break that low, kind of sit here. We come down. We don't generate a lot of selling in this area. Don't generate a lot of buying. Then when we break this bar's low right there, come back inside that high right there, then the selling accelerates. So what's the tolerance when we come in and we look about this before we can really get a lot of people excited? You got a high there, 2130 plus. We got a low of 2805. Say 28 even, so you got 2 points plus. Break that low, then the market gets accelerated. What's the 2 point plus? That's an 8-tick stop. So there's a lot of programs and computerized trading that are built on 8-tick swings. So right now, based on the overnight session and where we are, we're probably looking at a B. We've turned B. Looking at the F1 screen, there's no news to drive the trading tomorrow. There's inventory, crude inventories, and this market certainly won't pay any attention to them. So the F1 screen, higher low, higher high. I mean, the structure still supports higher prices. You can't get around that. We've got a P before it, so the bias is to the upside. Today's action, price action, assuming that we close in the 25 area, give or take, will certainly support higher prices tomorrow. Looking at the F2 screen, put it all together. We got to move out of the middle in M period, and so we're conflicted. One says higher, this one says lower, so that tends to be trading range. If the market was to close right here at 21.5, we'd be trying to sell the 25 area plus or minus, and then the 30 area plus or minus for sell 2. On the buy side, we'd come back to volume, this 15 to 17 area. And I've come a little bit lower, test support. You can see the last rotate down on yesterday's day session stopped at 16. And we've got volume at 15. Got volume from the preceding day. Looks like it's 16. So 15 to 16 ought to slow the market down. So 2110, 2115 is where I see reasonably good support. And we'll go ahead and we'll play for that. Okay, the 30-year and the 10-year both have lower highs and lower lows. We're back in the sell mode. It's funny, dollar strength is being associated with the selling in bonds right here. And the roll forward in QE1 for the EU might have that, where you go ahead and you dump your U.S. securities because of the strong dollar. Make a little money that way on the currency transaction. and then use that money, roll it into buying European paper for the next 2 months of purchases by the European Central Bank. So this market has us a seller. Looking at our F2 screen, trying to look at our F2 screen. Definitely a B. If the E-mini spills, we don't really want to be short, but definitely be looking for a place to sell it. So 3 to 7 is sell 1. It kind of picks up this area. And then 11 to 15 will be sell 2. On the buy side, 21 to 25. And 13 to 17. I kind of like the buy side a little bit better on this, just because I don't see a real strong reason for the heavy selling that we had today. So I'm not afraid to buy if we get down, and support could be 24.28 or the 20 to 24 area. So we're gonna lean against 24. So if we can get in there in that 25 area, the top end of that range, that would be satisfactory to me. The Greek news is really getting to be interesting. I mean, it's all over the map. Going to leave. Juncker has a new plan. The surprises that are being popped on the German parliament. Merkel's got to get. You read all sorts of stories, but I think what we can probably be comfortable with is that Greece may be leaving the EU. And that's probably the best thing going for Greece. But nobody wants it to happen overnight. There'll be a transition period. So my guess is on if they are to leave the EU, it'll be done on a 5 to 10 year basis. And the European Union will fund it so their banks don't go bankrupt or fail overnight. A little bit of selfish interest there, not necessarily altruistic. Okay, resistance is 4 to 8. Right here, you got that M period high at 8. So that's our first sell is 3 to 7. Then we're going to skip one. We're going to go 15 to 19. Try to pick up this area right here. Lean against 20 would be ideal. On the buy side, last rotate down was 17. I kind of like that. So 13 to 17, this market can really move. And we'll put a question mark at 21. If the E-mini continues to sell, we really don't want to be short this contract. And then if we bust the 13 area, we'll make 1 to 5 for buy 2. I just don't see fundamentally why everybody's getting excited about the short side here. Yeah, they might raise interest rates, but not tomorrow. I think the economic news continues to deteriorate, although not on every news announcements, but on the housing numbers today, most people felt that those were making up for last month's bad numbers. Now, one of the things, if you are in the home building or in the construction business, life is cash flow, and you can get a nice advance either on the strength of your balance sheet by going and digging the foundation, or on a customer digging it for a customer. And obviously digging it for a customer is better than on your own balance sheet, but that's the way that a developer gets his money. So starts are a way to get some cash flow, and it's in the developer's best interest, if he's not selling homes right and left, at least to dig a few holes and get some cash flow coming in. So maybe next month will be better. Okay, gold, lower high, lower low, market to sell on the F1 screen, the daily time frame. Looking at the F2 screen, multiple distributions lower. The issue is, can we break it? So we have this breakout right here at 98 on our long-term chart. The high volume number, as long as we can stay below this 1210 area, is 97.98. That's the attractor, stops below 1200. So we're going to put 1200 plus or minus is buy 1. Hopefully we can get down there. Then our 95 is buy 2. And on the sell side, we spilled from 10, so 10 plus or minus 1, sell 1, and then 15 plus or minus 1, sell 2. I think the long-term play in gold is from the long side. There's just too much uncertainty out there, and personally, I think silver, if you want to have some change, something that you can spend and make change with, and I'm not saying that the world's going to hell in a handbag and we're going to get there, but again, this is peace of mind stuff. This is just sleep at night. Something bad, the currency blows up, I can't get money out of the bank. They shut down the banking system for whatever the reason, and I'm not saying it's happening tomorrow. That's just an insurance policy. That's all it is. If you had to guess, the Japanese experience is probably, if G20 all stay on the same page, we are importing the Japanese disease. And if everybody's doing the same thing on a relative basis, what's the least worst investment decision, etc. And that's how the game's being played right now. So if you look at the Argentinian experience, would probably be the second one. In the 20s, Argentina was supposed to be the place. It was the fourth biggest economy in the world. It was the fastest growing. Had everything: land, water, natural resources, oil, energy. Could feed themselves. They had a Scottish and European immigration population that knew how to get things done that would sell in America and Europe. And then look what happened to them. And a demigod, Juan Perón, in the late... It started with a depression, but Juan Perón, it just hasn't gotten any better since then. And this is the group that's there looting the treasury right now, I think is the third ruler of that ilk. It doesn't take long to break something and tear it down. It takes a hell of a long time to build it up. So I think the worst case scenario for us would be Argentina, and best case would be Japan if we continue on this path. Okay, crude oil, lower high, lower low, looking for a place to sell it. And I think it would take something out of Iran or Iraq to change things. Now we know that ISIS likes to sell crude oil. And ISIS is a Sunni-based movement. It's not a Shia-based movement. And the leaders, Saddam Hussein, it was Sunni leadership. So I don't think anybody thinks that they're going to disrupt the Iraq production. So we can probably keep that on the marketplace. So the issue is Iran, Yemen, Red Sea Straits, Iran, the Persian Straits, etc. And the market's telling us that's not a factor. So, looking at crude oil, we got a low volume number at 57.34. We've got the high volume number, looks like 57.64. We're at 58, so we'll make the first buy this 57.50 area. 75, a little bit lower, maybe a little short covering in front of tomorrow's numbers. Might give us a little bit of support, even though this market does not trade the EIA numbers very well. And so 58 and a quarter. 50 is sell 1, and then 58 and a quarter sell, 59, 50, god dang, I can't read, 58, 75, 59, so I think this will be sell too. So I think this market's in a sell mode for the right reasons. Too much supply. The play against 57.50, it's a round number and short covering in front of the EIA numbers, and then 57 even would be the next half buck lower. And last but not least, the euro. Got slammed, and got slammed for the right reason. QE1 is being sped up. What does that mean? They're printing money faster. Sell the euro. So 113 evens, pretty stout resistance right now. I would say 111 evens, probably pretty good support. We're at 58. We wanted to buy a quarter today. This one tells us to find a place to sell it. We wanted to buy a quarter today. Held up pretty good. I think the low is 22. So how low can it go? So it's easier to see the break in the market up here. The 75 area, give or take. Sell 1. Sell 2, 112 even. Plus or minus. On the buy side, 20 to 30. And then basically the buck for buy 2. That's it for May the 19th, 2015. I'll see y'all bright and early in the morning. Y'all have a great evening.